What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of SSX-1, and welcome back to the channel. Season 41, War number 10, against some buddies over at HCAR. It's a shout out specifically to Null and Manier. They were ramped up for this war, so we know this is going to be a big one. We are fighting for still Masters top 10. We're getting very close to keeping the Masters. We've had a pretty tough schedule this season, but you know what it is. To be the best, you got to beat the best. So anyway, here we go. I've got Hulkling, Penny, and Idum in this war. So very, very happy, obviously, to get Hulkling off the bench and use him. Strategy here is always build to 4 kind of pierce charges before by hitting into the block, build to the SP2, back out, and then throw into the block again so he goes unblockable. To get the 2 massive furies when launching the SP2. And with the power backs, as you can see, one power back, one SP2, power back, another SP2, dead. I think in this one I ended up using a 200 power boost instead of a 150. I wanted to kind of test it out just to see kind of what the power back was going to look like. In the first fight, it seemed to be the perfect amount. Usually I use the 150s and it's also usually pretty good, but in this case here, I like to do the 200. So anyway, on to the next one. I've got Nick Fury here with Tactics. So in this one, you got to make sure you do hit into the block to remove the flourish, because the last thing you want is to him constantly spam those SP1s, especially when he goes unblockable, which is a real pain. But I had some issues with this fight. As you can see, he kept breaking either through my block or I don't know, I wasn't dexing properly or who knows what, but I ended up losing my spider charges, which means I had to reset and throw an SP1 again. Instead of having the fight over at, 30 hits, I now have to go through another cycle. He's now unblockable. Hopefully he doesn't throw the SP1. Fortunately, I get a good dash in there to push him to the SP2. And yeah, so that was good. But there's still always a challenge when he's got that SP1 active, especially when he's unblockable at this stage of the game. So you do have to land that intercept to be lucky. So he does have a protection up. So on this one here, before throwing the SP2, I did knock him down because this is a knockdown. And then after that, I get into my SP2, which then basically kills him. So very easy fight. Well, easy fight. It can go wrong. I have had it go wrong, but I'm very, very comfortable with Penny. And as you saw, she still ended up with more or less a full bar of power. So full health bar. So very happy with the way it went. I did heal up again because I always tend to heal up regardless of who I'm fighting against. I wasn't particularly worried about this storm. Initially, I was supposed to take it with, I believe, Idum, but I'm just extremely comfortable with Penny and thought that if I did a proper Penny cycle right away, assuming I don't get nailed by an unblockable SP1, that with one Penny cycle that she would be more or less dead. So so far so good. I haven't had to deal with any of the auto blocks, which removed my thing. I have to dex out obviously the SP1. She was building power faster than I thought she was going to, but I mean that's just because of tactics, so I did have to dex out of the SP1 more than I would have liked to have probably. But as you just saw, SP1, SP2 dead. So I was very happy with the way that fight went. I'm very happy that I was given permission to run an audible because of just how comfortable I am with Penny in those situations and knowing exactly what she's capable of, especially up against mutants. Like anytime you have the class advantage is always a good thing to have. So all is good. So into this last one, trying to get my 4 kind of pierce charges in right away. And then I made the mistake of hitting into the block again, even though after the first 4 hits, her shield was basically down. And then I thought I had enough power to get me to the SP2. Instead, I happened to throw the SP1. So now I'm kind of in a position I didn't want to be in because I don't want her kind of spamming specials. I also don't want to take shots to the face like I did there, but fortunately it happens. But with the power backs, as you saw, oh my gosh, how did I not dex out of that one? With the power backs, I was back up to an SP2 right away, and then, you know what, I ended up getting pushed to the SP3, which is fine. And no harm, no foul. The fight was over right after that. So all in all, very, very happy with my war. Had 4 fights. Oh, no. My apologies. I had 5 fights this war. And another Hulkling fight to bring your way. So, forgot about this one. I believe it was probably a pretty short one because it doesn't stick out as anything special. Only that, from memory, she wouldn't allow me to get the piercing charges on her right away. So I do have to bait out the SP1s because you don't want her to get to 5 armor breaks because then she auto blocks you, which is always a pain. So you do have to kind of pay attention to that. But there I got my 4 charges on, pushed to an SP2. And then with the power backs, as you saw, I went right to red. So just like that, the fight's going to be over. I don't even have to risk trying to land another SP2. So that's why I had seemingly forgotten about the war, about this particular fight. Because Hulkling is a monster and just destroys, well, specifically tech, but most champs as well. So all in all, very happy. Unfortunately, we did end up losing this war, but I have to give a huge, huge shout out to HC Armageddon for their Team Donut. They never, from what I remember reading or seeing, they've never had one before. They were amped up the entire time playing against us, chatting and stuff. But you know what? Got to give credit where credit is due. Team Donut, massive. We had our 5 deaths, which is not ideal. I mean, we try to keep it under 6 every war as much as possible, and hopefully improve kind of as we go forward. But today was not our day. There's nothing we could have done there other than not die. But it is what it is. C'est la vie. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, guys.